Hello, I'm Robert Van Rissingham with Naturally Noble. You can find our blog at heavenshopenutritionalproducts.com. Our blog name is Tips from the Garden. Supplementing our soil for human health rather than the plant's health is what our business and our research is all about. Zinc, according to the Dr. James Duke database, a .gov site, has 77 chemical activities. One of those activities is antiviral. It has a question mark on it, but as we're seeing more and more with this coronavirus, that question mark goes away pretty fast. When a plant uptakes a particle, the particle size is so small that we can't see it under even an electron microscope. We can measure the intensity through an XRF, and we know that it's there, and we can read the different intensities. But we can't just put zinc in our garden and automatically expect it to be bioavailable. Our methods have always been to address feeding the micronutrients in the soil, a mineral bonded to a nutrient that the microbes will consume, and as those microbes excrete or die off or replenish themselves, the residue is a bioavailable particle that the plant uptakes. So how do we make a supplement that you can produce in your own home in an easy method? We tried pennies because we were under the impression, as everybody was, that the new pennies have zinc in it. Well, they also have 4% mercury. That do not use an untested zinc source for your garden. It's just not worth it if you're putting heavy metals into your garden. What we've developed after trying the pennies and we're just alarmed by what we've seen, we found that roofing nails that are not dipped in galvanizing solution but are cold galvanized, meaning that they're plated on zinc, and if they're made in the US, they usually fall under the EPA regulations for byproduct and waste. They're very clean for zinc. To follow the recipe that we're doing, and if you do that later on through the summer as you're growing and following these methods, the values that we see in our food, the values that we see in our zinc should be the exact same values that you're obtaining through your garden. So when we know the zinc level in a radish or in the radish greens or in a lettuce, as we gather that information and test it, we can convey our information to you, put it up in a nutritional labeling that will tell you how many radishes you will need to eat to obtain that daily recommended amount. So to make the formula, this is a made at home formula. Take 10 roofing nails. These are 1 3/4 inches. I bought them at Home Depot. It was their brand. Make sure that you're not buying the dipped zinc galvanized. You can tell the difference. They're very rough. Anything that's dipped in hot molten zinc and then pulled back out has a very rough texture to it and almost a crystalline structure. These zinc nails are very smooth. They're good quality nail. They don't rust if they're covered with zinc. Until you strip the zinc off, then they rust very easily. So 10 nails put into just standard, this is a Heinz vinegar. I tested the vinegars. We're not getting any residual heavy metals from it. And we take and we dissolve it or just set it in there for 6 hours. At the end of 6 hours, run it through a filter and then pour it into sawdust. The sawdust that we use for all of our products are actually from the Home Depot brand of wood pellets. And we like the wood pellets because they expand out as soon as they get wet. And they're very easy to absorb the vinegar saturated with zinc. Why you can't pour this right on your garden, one is the pH, the other is, this is metal ions in solution. It will plate out on black sands, it'll plate out on other things that are within your garden, other minerals, and disrupt the entire natural flow of the minerals that are already in your garden. When you put it into the wood and let it dry, or at least when you squeeze it, you don't see any standing water. We prefer the drier you get it, the better. It acts as a buffer to both absorb the mineral ions so they won't plate out on other metallic minerals in your garden. And it also acts as a buffer to protect the pH. And the wood fibers itself are actually a carbon source for the microbials to eat, consume the zinc and the vinegar as a food. And when they excrete that's your food for your plants. So we're going to go ahead and take one of the, I prepped a sample for the XRF. This is actual, and as the spectrum populates, you'll see that that the zinc number right now is running right about 935. We'll see where it finishes up, because it makes different adjustments through the programming of the XRF. You can see our iron count is at 1200. That 1200 is typical with, you know, we probably left it in solution a little longer. If we would have went even longer in that acid solution, you know, vinegar, acidic solution, we would probably see even more iron. You know, don't be alarmed when you see you know, these other numbers pop up and come into the red. This is our food standard that we're actually running that plus our pass-fail on. And what we're seeing when we're looking at the variances on the far side, that's the margin error that's within the program. You know, it's focused in to a plus or minus 8 on the hydrogen, and it's on mercury, and it's sitting at 8. So that number could be real or not. It's not alarming. When we were doing pennies, we were reading and doing this test. We were reading mercury levels, you know, up in the, you know, mid 70s to 90s, and the zinc pennies actually had 4% mercury. Unbelievable. So let's look at the values of what we're seeing in this product. We got a zinc number of 948, which is very good. That's almost 5 times higher than the burpee starting seed starters. We have a good iron number. There are other minerals that it's reading here, and I'll have a report on this. You know, just look for the report scan 296, and you'll see additional minerals. But I really like what I see here. It's very clean nails. You know, there's absolutely minimal byproduct and great beneficial minerals that we're pulling off from this. Some of these minerals are actually coming out of the wood. It's not coming out of the nails. You know, keep that in mind. You know, our you know, phosphorus and potassium numbers are actually coming out of the wood. So with that, good luck on making it. One of the batches of 10 nails, and when it's wicked, will be about the size of a half a cup. That half a cup is enough to do one of the 72 pod trays for the burpee starter kit. And what we you'll see us on another video using this amendment and starting a radish garden that we keep growing in that same tray for the entire summer. Thank you. Hope this was helpful. Have a good day.